Where are you?
Don't even think about it. Somehow this thing's copying all our powers just by looking at us.
We can't just stay here.
That's exactly what you're gonna do.
The DC Animated Universe Conspiracy, or as other people call it, the Cadmus Arc, is a major storyline that spans several episodes of both the Justice League animated series and the Justice League Unlimited animated series. If you haven't watched our video, you can hit this card on the top right to watch our first video about this storyline. Now we're going to talk about this two-parter episode in the Justice League animated series, which is a hugely important episode because it introduces a character named Amazo, not to be confused with the comic book Amazo. This series gave this character a sense of thought and individuality.
Wait. Let me tell you about Amazo. Amazo first appeared in comics in Brave and the Bold 30, June 1960, written by Gardner Fox and illustrated by Mike Sekowsky. In that comic, he was created by the supervillain Professor Ivo, and he was created to mimic the powers and abilities of all the members of Justice League of America. He would disappear from comics for 4 years before returning and becoming a main staple in the side of the Justice League of America.
So let's talk about the two-parter episode. It starts with the League fighting Lex Luthor, and they get the upper hand, but Lex escapes and heads towards his company building, asking Mercer for the location of Professor Ivo. He heads to his location and finds him dead in his bed, but behind him he sees an android, and the android scans him and his face changes to Lex. The android has been protecting Ivo's corpse, but since Lex figured out that he can duplicate powers, he sends him to collect technology for his own use and suit. Amazo heads to the facility to steal the tech, but encounters Hawkgirl and duplicates her powers. He gets the upper hand and then heads to Lex. Lex realizes his duplication abilities work well and starts to take advantage of Amazo, and due to his lack of worldly wisdom and who Lex is, he is able to fabricate a story and make Amazo believe it, and he starts to take orders. Amazo then heads to the city, and Wonder Woman and Flash already met up with Hawkgirl and they discuss about the android, but they see him fighting with the officers on the big screen and then approach him. They start fighting, but he starts to duplicate everybody's powers. Meanwhile, Superman and Batman interrogate Mercer. Later on, Green Lantern warns them not to help them in the fight because he figured out that Android is duplicating their powers. However, the League seems to be losing. They both ignore it and arrive at the scene, and Superman does manage to get the upper hand, but then Amazo scans him and the episode ends. So now you're thinking, well, where the hell was Martian Manhunter? Well, when Lex escaped from the League, Superman asked Martian Manhunter if he can perform a psychic sweep across the town to find Lex Luthor. Manhunter did so, but while taking everybody's thoughts in, he was overloaded with too many thoughts that he couldn't control his power. Instead, he fled into a forest to escape the noise in his head. But while doing so, Superman called him on his communicator and...
Sean, any luck yet?
No,
Where are you?
I can't talk now.
Are you alright?
Leave me alone!
Then he overhears a couple of townspeople are looking for a 6-year-old. Meanwhile, in the next episode, Batman tells Superman not to approach him because Batman takes out a kryptonite rock and says,
I have this. It's a package deal. You get our strengths, but you also get our weaknesses.
Amazo then escapes. Meanwhile, Martian Manhunter then finds the missing 6-year-old, takes her to the townspeople, and then leaves. Wonder Woman then finds him. However, Mercer heads to Lex's location and tells him that the League has stopped by to visit her, and he starts packing up. The League finds Ivo's hideout and starts to investigate while Amazo tries to find Lex elsewhere. While feeling abandoned, he finally finds him and confronts him. Lex also says,
This is a kill switch. There's a bomb at the base of his brain, and all I have to do is press this little button.
Does he know about that?
He doesn't need to. He's going to do what I want out of love, not fear.
Lex then makes him go after the League, and we see one by one each League member fighting him. Wonder Woman then tells Martian Manhunter not to get involved because
If that thing copies your powers, we'll never be able to take him down.
Lex then helps Amazo, but Martian Manhunter then decides to...
We are not your enemy.
You know what to do.
Yes, you know.
You have all their powers.
Use them well.
And with that, he uses his psychic powers, and then he turns to
So you
Lex.
lied to me.
What?
It was all a lie.
Lex uses a switch, and Now, first off, I love these episodes. The creators and writers wanted to do something completely different than what we thought Amazo was going to be. Not only that, they continue his story later on in the Justice League Unlimited series. Now, with him becoming omnipotent in the later episode, you might be thinking, how is he connected to Cadmus? Well, this Amazo was actually created by nanotechnology by Professor Ivo. And with his nanotechnology, he's able to copy any trait and characteristics of people and objects just by looking at them and scanning them. So a couple things to remember. Lex Luthor looked at the blueprints, and he also has a photographic memory. Later on in the series, he gets in bed with Cadmus. So you can see where this is going, right? Now, the main reason why I like this episode is because of the title of these two episodes, Tabula Rasa. Now, I found this from the Wikipedia page, but it is a theory that individuals are born without built-in mental content, and therefore all knowledge comes from experience or perception. Now, keep that in mind because Martian Manhunter was also questioning his existence. Mind you, when Amazo scanned him, that question was lingering within his mind, and so when he scanned him, he probably took that question within him, and within those few seconds and leaving Earth, he was so curious about the universe that he went out and questioned it. But throughout the whole episode, you can see from his experience with humanity, other than Professor Ivo, he learned not to trust Lex. It goes in hand. Let me know what you thought about Amazo and seeing this for the first time as a kid or as an adult. Till then, see you next time, Geek Gods.